y'all.
Won't fear that I can lose everything going into this marriage. You understand? Divorce is, I think it's like this.
They're pro no fault divorce. They're anti no fault divorce, y'all. I'm pro no fault divorce, which means you can get divorced without having certain particular reasons, like you're being abused, someone's cheating on you. I'm exiting any situation from a human being, but don't exit your situation with the Most High. So they're anti no fault divorce, which means they are against it. Okay. They want you held against your will, y'all. Not good. That ain't what marriage is about. Marriage is about people that want to be there. Okay. Marriages are voluntary. If you want to be there, be there. If you no longer want to be there, don't be there.
You understand? Listen, no fault divorce is, I think it's like this. If you want to leave somebody, because I don't believe you should be with somebody when you don't want to be, okay? I don't think.
Okay, he's saying, Philip Scott is saying you shouldn't be with somebody if you don't want to be, but he still advocates for no fault divorce. But let's hear what he has to say. He may be saying something that's more on what I'm teaching and agreeing with.
Both sides. But you should not be able to just take everything from this man. Just take everything. And some women go through.
Okay, so he's saying get out the marriage if you want to. He's saying the woman, in so many words, should be able to get out the marriage if she wants to, but should be able to leave and not be able to take everything because she's choosing to break the contract. But that should apply to the man as well, because ladies lose stuff when they enter into divorces. Because see, now it's set up where they taking money from all of y'all, the man and the lady. So the lady could actually be the rich one. For example, Holly Berry. Name or think of rich ladies that have lost in their divorces. Okay, so anybody can lose their money in a divorce. So Philip Scott is saying, hey, if you want to get out of the marriage and you want to get out of it, no fault. Ben Boys, you would have to go watch part 1 of the live. But what I'm talking about is commentary on Kendra Davis and Philip Scott's live video about marriage and their views of the Black family and marriage. So thanks for asking. I did part 1. So this is part 2 of it because my device overheated. And so Ben Boys, if you or Ben Boy 2, let me see. Let me make sure I'm reading it right because I do wear glasses. I like how you said, what are we talking about? I like that, Ben Boy V2. That's nice. I like that we, because that's what we are here. We're a we. Just so you know, if you're a man, I'm not a woman that hates men. I have sons. Some of the greatest people in my life have been males. I'm very fair, but I don't want anybody to be miserable. And make sure when you get time, you go watch part 1 because I'm actually telling you other ways you can create income without entering into marriage. I am pro marriage if it's going to be happy, but I'm just pointing out some of the flaws and adding on my opinion of Kendra Davis and Philip Scott's live that they did. So I'm just doing commentary on it so that you could expand your knowledge because that's what we are doing here, right, Ben? So thank you. And I love that we, because we are we. Yeah, and Ben Boy, if you want to watch part 1 and then come back and watch this, you can, because it may be very insightful to watch part 1. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the commentary of because this is part 2. Okay.
David to just take everything from this man. Just take everything. And some women go through this too.
But he mentions taking everything from the man as if ladies don't lose stuff in marriages too. I talk about in part 1, Ben, how I lost a lot financially when I was in my marriage. I lost, okay? And so it ain't just men losing stuff in marriages, it's ladies too. Anybody that signs up for a shitty contract, whether you be the lady or the man, you can lose financially. And he's talking about financial loss, y'all.
Able to just take everything from
Because the courts nowadays, they don't care who they taking it from. They taking it from anybody they can take it from.
this man. Just take everything. And some women go through this too, Halle Berry.
Oh, look! Oh, wait a minute, y'all. He gonna mention Halle Berry. Wait a minute. I did not just mention Halle Berry. So you know what? I'm starting to like Philip Scott. You know what I mean? I would say he's definitely being fair on this matter, and I see why he's the big man that he is and has all the subscribers and views. So let me see. Hello, X Reddit. Hello to you. Thanks for tuning into the live. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into the live.
Or Mary J. Blige, right? They complain about the
law. He mentions Mary J. Blige, too. That's another example.
And it happens to them. Oh, they complain. But it happens to men all the time. So if you want to keep no fault.
Basically, what he's saying is, oh, thank you, X Reddit, for subscribing and liking the video. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So what Philip Scott is saying is it happens to men more of the men losing money. However, I think it's the statistics and the numbers of ladies that lose money in marriages is rising as well. And not just women that are in Hollywood, y'all. Just regular old women like me lose in marriages. They leave marriages in poverty with no money saved, as I did, having to pay out money. It happens. Going into bankruptcies and all kind of stuff. Okay?
To them, oh, they complain. But it happens to men all the time. So if you want to keep no fault divorce, that's fine. But you can't take half of somebody.
And the state I live in on the West Coast, it happens to women all the time as well, y'all. It's happening to both. White, black, no matter what your race is.
Income. You can't put this man on all kind of, I think child support should be joint, just like custody should be joint. I think you should look at what he get, what she get, look at what the expense of the child, and say, okay, the payment is this.
And they're already doing that, y'all. Like he says, look at the expenses of the child. Some of that has already been implemented in the court system. However, the problem with it is, if you are not considered the primary parent to the kids and you're the secondary custodian parent, the secondary custodian parent always has to pay. And that's the flaw in the system. So it sounds like what Philip Scott is saying, it needs to be more balance in that. And I would agree with him on that.
Look at what the expense of the child and say, okay, the payment is this. You split that payment down the middle. And then, because the child gonna live with the mom, and then say, okay, well, the mom.
It can't be split down the middle because that would be not fair if one person is making $12,000 a month and the other person is making $1,000 a month. So there's no fairness in there in that you can't split stuff down the middle when you're trying to collect oil from an oil well that's been sucked dry of oil, right? You can't do that. So you can do that 50-50 stuff when the incomes are more compatible. Like each person brings in $3,000 a month. So when there's a drastic number, say one of the spouses was the housewife or house husband, and that was the one that took care of the kids, they may not have income at all. So how are you going to split something down the middle and one of the parents don't even have income?
And because the child gonna live with the mom, and then say, okay, well, the mom not gonna pay the system because the child living, so the payment is split, and then the non-custodial parent pay the other portion. So that way, both of them is actually putting into the system. I don't think it should be the best interest of the child. I think it should be based on a lot of factors, right? I mean, looking at what the child.
I agree with that when he says it should be based on a lot of factors, but ultimately it should be in the best interest of the child. Because the child is a child, not an adult, right? And a child can't fend for themselves like we can. So it should be in the best interest of the child, but it doesn't happen that way. It don't happen that way. That's the problem. When you're dealing with the courts, it's not going to be in the best interest of the child. Children are going to be in emotional distress and pain because their parents are going through a custody battle. And it also will affect their mind and their nervous system and the way they do things when they become adults. Okay. So most of the bullshit, what's in the best interest of the child is two parents that don't go to court in the first place. And they don't even fight in court. They work it out outside of court. So usually those situations are in the best interest of the child. When I went through my divorce, it was not in the best interest of the children. It just wasn't. They're hurt to this very day. Okay. Hi, Charlotte. Hello. Thanks for coming in the live. Like, share, and subscribe. Just like ex Reddits did. He subscribed and liked the video. So please do that, Charlotte, if you choose that you like the video. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Charlotte. I appreciate you. I got a favorite cousin named Charlotte. She lives in Alabama.
Based on a lot of factors, right? I mean, looking at what the child's medical needs are, what's the child's school needs, etc., right? I think that child support should be audited, no different than the.
Yep, I sure do. And I love the name Charlotte. I think it's one of the most prettiest names around. It really is. Charlotte is so pretty to me.
IRS will audit your taxes. How is it that the IRS will audit a business?
You're welcome, dear heart. And my name is Irene.
But in that auditing, what's being done with the child support money? Because this is going to the state to go to you for child support. I believe paternity fraud needs to be added because there's plenty of situations where paternity fraud has happened. I believe mandatory DNA testing should be done at the beginning when a child is being born.
I am in somewhat of agreement with that. I'm a paternity court watcher, y'all. I'm a lady, but I'm sorry. I've seen so much paternity court. One man was on there and none of the kids was his. And it was about 3 or 4 kids. All these kids was produced in the marriage. I would say it's up to the man. What does he want to do? It doesn't need to be mandatory to have paternity tests for a husband to say, I just want a test. The thing is with this, y'all, stop entering into marriages with women that you can't trust. Okay. Charlotte, what are we talking about? Thanks for asking. We are talking about, I'm doing commentary on Kendra Davis and Philip Scott, American Black Family Live. They're very pro-marriage. And so here at Advanced Insight Channel, I'm going over some of the things they won't bring up. I am pro-happy. I am pro-marriage if you find the right person. I am anti-misery. So I'm just using some examples, explaining situations and the flaws in some of what they are teaching and not teaching. But some of what they're teaching, I am in agreement with. So like Philip Scott said, he's talking about paternity tests. Now, me, if I'm a married woman, I know who my children are by. I've never had a problem with knowing who the father is. But some women do. Are they the worst women in the world? No, it happens, especially with young women. And as we watch paternity court, it happens with older women. But I do think it's a very bad thing when a man believes that these are his children and they are not. One of my sons is going through it right now. I've already told him that the son is not his. The woman then went out and got pregnant again by another man. So what this girl does, and I talked about this in my other lives, this white bitch that put her fist in my motherfucking side last year. This is the type of bitch he's with, right? So my son's a beta male, right? Undiagnosed psychopath, beta male. They the easiest to be suckered, right? So believe it or not, you can be both. You can be an undiagnosed psychopath and a beta male because you give it a psychopathic bitch, right? So this white bitch, she goes off having fucking babies. My son's a black male. I know what black motherfucking children look like, okay? It's not I'm a light-skinned black woman, but the baby just ain't ours, right? And if the baby is ours, I'm gonna tell you why I know the boy ain't my son's. The bitch was pregnant when she met my son. But my son is so motherfucking high out his mind, he can't remember that shit. But I remember it because I was sober. Because the first day I talked to her on the phone, my son's girlfriend, the bitch was already pregnant. Met her at a shelter. My son has a whole nice home. He goes to a fucking shelter. Now this time, the bitch ran off again. Okay, she's pregnant again. And this time, I somewhat marked it down, like on a little calendar. So when she showed up a month pregnant, a month ago, she stayed away from my son's residence for a week. I don't know if she's prostituting or what she's doing, but she goes away and she comes back pregnant and then dumps these motherfucking children off on my son. Okay? It ain't no situation where my son's moving in with the bitch. My son has his own residence. This ain't no black male that's moving in with the bitch. I just want to clarify this because, you know, some people probably think, well, he moving in on the bitch. No, the bitch is moving in on him. I went there last September because she jumped on this Kathy Bates bitch. She reminded me of Kathy Bates from the movie Misery. So she goes over there, jumps on my son. I don't know if my son is dead or alive. White bitch don't go to jail because my son helps her. Oh, by the way, she says she black, y'all. Okay. You black bitch. Okay. I have her show me a picture of her mama, pull a few strands of her hair. You ain't black if you don't press your hair like me and your mama ain't chocolate. If your mama ain't one of them big fat women with a big old ass running around St. Louis, your hair not nappy, okay. Black has a phenotype. She is not black. If we all go in the grocery store, they will identify me as a light-skinned black female. They will identify my son as a caramel-complected Negro like me, and they will think this bitch is white and her baby. She's not fucking black, okay? And I'm not giving my identity away to her when in society, I bet she write white on her applications. Okay, I bet you she writes white, but she told me she was black so I could donate to the bitch and buy her some food. And it worked. I did it, y'all. That's the type of dumb empath I am. I fed the bitch because she say she black. Okay, you black. Let me feed another black bitch. But I stopped doing it because I came to my fucking senses. Okay, so this is a type of situation. So I'm bringing this situation up in my family. My son, he's disrespectful as fuck. I've done a few lives on this Negro. He's not my favorite son, and he's none of that. He's disrespectful because he's gone off into this white culture. And hey, I guess I'm just an old black slave bitch. So, you know, Massa can put her fist in my side. My son was so fucking stupid that he actually claimed he did it. So I put my fist in your side, Mom. No, you didn't. How the fuck he gonna touch me and he's inside his apartment? I guess he's like God, huh? He's inside his apartment and I'm outside his door in the hallway and he touches my side? No, the bitch did. My son is not even in the hallway to touch me. But I guess when something happened to the bitch or the baby over there, he's gonna say he fucking did it, right? This is why so many innocent people get in prison, trying to take up for another motherfucker. So, sorry for the profanity, but profanity is the only way I can explain this shit. So you get the effect of what I'm saying. So I stay the fuck away from my son and that bitch because I'm not gonna keep letting her put her fist in my side. Oh, and my son is okay with it. The bitch don't have to apologize to me or anything. But that's how this is. So yes, Paternity test, more mandatory paternity tests, yes, need to be done. But you always gonna have Negroes that say these kids is theirs and believe that the kids is theirs no matter what they telling them. I could tell my son 200 times that it's not our child. It's not our blood relative. Hey, if the baby is, prove it. Prove it. So I'm like Philip Scott. I'm for paternity test. I'm high for paternity test. I want the paternity test before our grandparent. Show me the paternity test. Show and prove to me that the baby you have is the first white person in our family that is that white, where you cannot identify any black blood in this child. Prove to me that that baby is the first one. It's bullshit. The baby is not related to us, in my opinion. I'm not God, but I want DNA. I'm like Philip Scott. Let's do the paternity test. Too many males, black, white, and any other race, are being abused and are taking care of children, claiming children that are not theirs. And it's happening even with their own wives. Imagine you laying down with a woman every night. She has 5 children and only 4 of them are yours. That's how low down some bitches can be. And I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's good for the male. So in that case, I'm pro male in that sense. I'm all for paternity tests. I don't know how it should be, if it's mandatory or not. I don't know how deep it should go and how the laws would work in that. But I think that there's enough circumstances where these kids are not belonging to the man, whether he be the boyfriend, husband, significant other, whatever he is to the woman. Too many of the children are showing up not to be the man's. So that's why Philip Scott is saying mandatory paternity tests. Okay, there's a lot of cases. He studied the cases. He's big on demographics. He knows his stuff. He's experienced. So yes, I'm going to give him 100% credit for feeling that way.
And at the beginning, when a child is being born, that way it does 2 things, Sister Kendra. One, you don't get to get to child support court and try to get you some time. Say, oh, well, I don't.
Yeah, I know, Charlotte. Oh my God. Yeah. You just that's why I'm on this channel. Like, I got experience with this stuff, right? And I will always be able to explain situations. That's why I'm good at this, because I can tell you some real life stuff. I don't need to just watch YouTube to talk about paternity tests. I'm dealing with it within my own immediate family, dealing with my son. I'm not grandparenting these children because I need to know who the hell they belong to. And I truly don't believe that these children are biologically related to my son.
One, you don't get to get to child support court and try to get you some time. Say, oh, well, I don't think that child's mine. I need a DNA test. It eliminates that because we already know who the child is. And
exactly, it eliminates that. I agree with that. People should pay child support for children that are biologically their children. Okay, you should not have to pay child support for children that are not biologically yours. That's what I believe, and I'm in agreement with him on his concept of paternity test and child support. I'm not anti-Philip Scott, okay? I'm not anti-Kendra Davis. I just want to add my own commentary and views since we have this channel here, okay, that I'm sharing with y'all, okay?
And number two, that you know that child is yours up front. It won't be no questions, right? So you can't sign the birth certificate unless you do this DNA test. But you know who's against that the most?
What is a commercial? Why does it do that, y'all? Hold on.
DNA test. But you know who's against that the most?
Sorry about that, y'all.
Women. The women.
Because they want to cover their 304 behavior, even in marriages. Because some men, like the state of Texas, if your wife cheat on you and she has that child, it's presumed yours.
Exactly.
Until you fight
Yeah,
against it and show it's
and
not
that's a
yours.
good point. Like he points out in the state of Texas, if she's married, it's presumed yours. But it's like that in most states across the United States. It's not just Texas, y'all. It's like that on the West Coast as well, where I'm at. I'm originally born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri, but I live on the West Coast now, and it's like that pretty much everywhere. Most states, that's the way it works. In the United States, most states go off that same um, political move that Texas makes when it comes to these issues. If you marry to the woman, it's your child.
If she has that child, it's presumed yours
Exactly.
until you fight against it and show it's not yours.
Yep.
So you
And
in a legal
even
situation with
for men, even if you fight against it, they still can deny your claim. That's why you got to be careful when a woman have your baby and you're not married to her and you sign the paternity paperwork, or being married to the wrong woman and you're presumed to be the father legally. You got to be careful with that, because even if you come back and show a paternity test saying it's not yours, a judge can still say, well, no, because you took the paternity paperwork and signed it, we're still gonna make you take care of this child. Yeah, we know he or she is not yours, but we're gonna make you take care of it. And it happens all the time. So you wanna get these paternity tests earlier versus later, because later, I mean, the woman know that it's hers no matter what. Even if the lady does not know at the time who the father is, it's always the woman's child. But it's the man that will suffer with this type of situation. And if I was a man, I wouldn't want to be in this situation. I just wouldn't.
So you in a legal situation with a child that you could be paying child support for, that your woman went laid up with another man with. That's why this stuff needs to be taken care of in the hospital.
Yeah, and
That's
I
true.
agree with Philip Scott on that. It needs to be taken care of in the hospital or before that child is 1 year old.
So would it be fair to say that, in your opinion, even if they didn't get rid of no fault divorce, just the changing of alimony
And remember, I'm anti no fault divorce. I'm against it. I believe the lady or the man or woman should be able to exit a marriage for any reason. I am anti no fault divorce. I'm against it. I believe that whoever you married to ain't your Lord, and you should be able to get out of this marriage. It's better to get out of it than one of y'all kill one another.
just the changing of alimony and child support law would go a long way.
Thank you so much for all the comments from everyone. Let me see. Charlotte, thank you so much for your consistent comments. X Reddits, Ben Boy V2. Thank you so much for all the comments. I appreciate it. I appreciate you being active in the live.
Into making marriage more appealing, especially for men who have something financial to lose.
Marriage should be appealing for both, y'all. The man and the lady, okay? Marriage involves two people, right? So let's not leave the lady out. Let's not leave the man out. You know, they're pro male worshiper, y'all, in some sense. I'm pro fairness. So we want to make the marriage desirable for both. That way it lasts, right? Don't you want it to last? Jesus.
Should there be a divorce, would it be fair to say, even just changing those, leave no fault divorce, and let's deal with paternity, let's deal with child support laws, and let's deal with alimony laws.
Yeah, so what Kendra Davis is saying is let's not just worry about no fault divorce. Let's worry about the other elements of a marriage, like child support, paternity, and stuff like that. And I agree with her on that.
That more fair, and men will be more willing to go forward in a marriage if that's what they wanted to do.
And the woman needs to be more willing to go forward too. And see, Philip and Kendra, they complain that a lot of people are not getting married, but this is 2025, right? So people have awakened to, it's not just one person in the marriage. So maybe more marriages would start coming about more often if we realize that there's two people in it, and it's a man and a lady. Okay.
That's what they wanted to do.
Yeah, I can agree with that. You got to understand, when these laws put down the books, women didn't have CEO positions. They weren't making six-figure incomes. Women have viable careers now. Women are business owners. So those laws are archaic to basically take care of a woman who just stayed home. And I understand why you would do that for them, but if you worked all your life and listen, as a man who paid out.
Nobody wants to stay home and get their ass kicked no more and not make their own income, y'all. No woman wants to do that anymore. So they ain't doing it. They're going out making their own income so they don't have to come home to these ass beatings.
Only temporarily for 6 months during my situation, and paying $1,500 a month on child. I was paying $2,500 a month. That's including alimony. There were times I was divorced, going through a divorce, and I did nothing wrong to cause that. Okay, at that time period. That's why I was even this close to Sister Kendra from trying to go to law school.
That's unrealistic, y'all. When Philip Scott says he did nothing wrong to cause that, let me tell you something. That's unrealistic because of this. He married her, right? So if I want to say, well, I did nothing wrong in my prior marriage, nobody put a gun to my head and made me marry the person. So even if he was the total good man he is, I guess he's not going to consider not losing weight as an issue, right? I don't know if he was obese, overweight like he is in that marriage, but people, they don't consider that a flaw, right? But it is a flaw. You're an unhealthy man in a marriage, and you think you could just eat whatever the motherfucking fuck you want to, and somebody's still supposed to want to fuck you. Okay, same way with women. Women on my 600-pound life, they get more dick than anybody. Okay, I guarantee you somebody on my 600-pound life is getting fucked a lot more than I am. Because motherfuckers don't care if she healthy, right? They feel like they can get that pussy whenever they want to because she ain't got no standard and she may be more desperate for somebody to fuck her. But stop saying you didn't do nothing for the marriage to fail. Yes, you did. You married that person. That's the part you did. Even if you came in faithful, healthy, dedicated, giving quality time, you worked, you provided, you checked off all the check scores or the check marks. But you married somebody that didn't do the stuff you were doing, so it's still part your fault because you married him. Even if you were naive, you still married him. So Philip Scott saying he ain't do shit to destroy the first marriage, that's unrealistic. It's just he got the next wife is just gonna tolerate it because she may be more into money because this is a man with money. So his second wife, she could potentially not love him at all, but she gonna stay because he got money. She don't care how fat he get, long as he gonna leave her some money. So we don't know the story of the first wife, and I don't know her story. I don't know if y'all know her story, but I am gonna consider him part at fault of what happened in the first marriage because he married her. He ain't tell me he was forced to marry her. He didn't say he was involved in an arranged marriage and he was in Afghanistan or Iraq. He ain't say none of that. So he's part at fault because you picked this fucking person. And it seems like he's liking what he picked in the second marriage. That's fine. But he gonna say the same shit if this marriage didn't work. If some in the media happens and he gets divorced again or is potentially heading for a divorce, he gonna say the same shit. He ain't had nothing to do with it, y'all. I know that that's what he would say. Okay, by what he's saying now.
That's why I was even this close, Sister Kendra, from trying to go to law school to become a family law attorney because for men. Because
Oh, okay. He gonna kind of that's subtle, y'all. He said he was gonna go to law school or whatever. I guess in a subtle way, he blaming the first wife for that. Okay.
I was like, men are being done wrong. I didn't understand how wrong that system is, and that system do not care what happens to you. All they want is they
And
money.
he may not be doing that, but if he didn't go to law school or finish law school or whatever, that's his fault. It's not his first wife's fault. It's not. He didn't complete that goal, but he mastered at another goal and is doing very well at it.
And if you don't pay, put you in jail. I didn't get put in jail, but you can put in jail. You may not be able to register your vehicle. You may get your passport suspended. Oh, it's a lot that could happen to you behind something that may not be your fault. Once again, you're cheating on your wife, you're beating your wife, you're beating your children, you're doing bad, and hey, I don't have no sympathy for you. But the only time I have
And that's good that he's against that stuff. I mean, if he's living his life, not beating his wife and stuff like that, I commend him for that. There should be more black men like him if he's telling the truth that don't beat their wives and stuff like that and their children.
sympathy is when you didn't do anything wrong, you did everything right as a man. Because the I'm not happy crowd, and then you go back to TikTok. They got women on there all day. I'm not happy, so I left my husband. I'm not happy. I'm like, well, happiness is a feeling.
Right.
It comes and goes. Just like anger is a feeling, it comes and goes. But there's so many of them with
No, happiness really don't come and go, y'all. It really don't. It doesn't in the way that he says it. I said this in part one. I'm glad he brings up happiness because when I did the live in part one, I bring up, in my opinion, he's not a happy man. Okay. And most people that are not happy people, they will say stuff like that happiness comes and goes. Now, will you have a bad day? Yes, you can have a bad day. But happiness does not come and go. And this is why that's not true. It's because general happiness involves a form of being content and at peace. So I'm happy and at peace every day, y'all. Every once in a while, I have a bad day. But happiness, for somebody that believes in the Lord, that overall has their health, their mind and stuff like that, happiness shouldn't be coming and going. So I'm so glad that he proved my point, y'all. In part one, I said Philip Scott, in my opinion, does not give the aura of a happy man. And he just proved my point. I didn't watch this live ahead of time and know he would say that. Remember, this is Advanced Insight Channel. So my intuition, watching his behavior, I love some of what he does, but happiness shouldn't be coming and going. And that says a lot about the type of marriage he's in. If happiness is coming and going, right? Is that what was going on in the first marriage? That he feel like he's not at fault? Sounds like he's bringing a lot of mood swings in his marriage, right? Because if happiness is coming and going and anger is coming and going, this man's mood is not stable in his marriage. So maybe in his first marriage, he had mood problems and is not recognizing that. Okay. So that's my perspective on happiness. Do more to become happy. Be in no contact and stuff like that. Do more work to become happy. And because happiness ain't coming and going. Some people will say it's not possible at all. I've heard that too. Years ago, I expressed a level of complete happiness and contentment. And one sister told me it's not even possible, but it is. It is possible. Happiness shouldn't be coming and going, y'all. Remember, I told you so. And if it is coming and going, you got to fix why it's doing that. Your prayer life sucks. You ain't winning no contact. You got toxic people around you. You ain't budgeting your money. You living above your means. You're not on these lives. You're not doing your own talents. Whatever your talent is, you should be producing that talent. And those are the things I work towards. Like, this is my talent. This is what I like to do. I like to talk and teach. I like to learn. I like to be here with y'all on the live. So I should be happier because I'm utilizing my talent. What did the movie say in Sleepers? The worst thing for a man or lady is wasted talent. So you want to utilize your talent, okay? But no, happiness shouldn't be coming and going, not in the way he's saying it. So I thank the Lord he said that because it proved my point about him. I said this in part 1, that this ain't no happy man. Thank you, Philip Scott, for confirming what I already said about you in part 1. Pray for him. I want him to be happier. I'll do a prayer for him. Marriage ain't made him completely happy, y'all. He's pro-marriage, but I'm pro-happiness. Okay?
Just like anger is a feeling that comes and goes, but there's so many of them within after 40 years old, that's when
and anger shouldn't be coming and going because you should be removing stuff that's making you angry. Okay?
divorce rates spike with women, according to research. They start hitting menopause and then they just start really changing. Okay.
Oh,
so
whatever. He needs to stop. Women changing in menopause. He needs to stop it. Blaming that shit on menopause. They ain't changed because of menopause. They been in this shit 30, 50 years and they tired of the shit. The woman not having her menstrual cycle no more ain't got a damn thing to do with her waking up, not wanting to be in a shitty marriage anymore. He needs to freaking stop. He's blame shifting right there. That's highly narcissistic, Philip. You need to stop it.
Haven't hit menopause yet? Yeah. So that is a process you got to work through, and if they don't want to go through hormone replacement therapy, it's a lot.
They ain't got to go through hormone replacement therapy. They need to file a fucking divorce. A woman in menopause that don't like her marriage, she don't need hormone replacement shit. She need to replace their husband and get a divorce. Don't go get hormone replacement therapy. Don't do that. Just get the fuck up out the marriage.
Goes with that. But a lot of
you should always be prepared to get out of a marriage, y'all. For the lady and man, you got to prepare for that. You just never know what will go wrong. Just always be prepared for a marriage to end. Just like you got to get prepared to die, right? You should always be getting prepared to die. So get prepared for a marriage to end because you do not have control of that other person.
Divorces happen during the menopause period.
Yeah, unfortunately, it does because listen, I'm an old woman, so
she don't look old. She's beautiful. They gotta stop gaslighting and making excuses outside of people are miserable. Stop making up excuses that people left. The man left because he got prostate problems. His prostate is enlarged. She got prostate cancer. She left because she got menopause. She had a history. She had a hysterectomy. All these bullshit excuses. They left because they fucking miserable. It ain't got nothing to do with their prostate or menopause. They wanted to leave because they were miserable. And during their misery, the other life circumstance happened, like the menopause and the prostate issues and stuff like that. They ain't gonna bring up the prostate issues, though. They want to keep you zoned in on the female issues, the menopause. That's crazy.
Listen, I'm an old woman, so I can tell you from firsthand experience.
I can't stand it when it do these commercials, y'all.
Experience. Perimenopause and menopause is not a joke at all.
It ain't a joke. I agree with her on that, but I'm not going to say it's the reason for a failed marriage. I'm just not going to blame it on that. What it is the menopause on top of the miserable marriage, just like a man's prostate issues on top of the fact he's been miserable for so long. That's what it's like, the icing on the cake. That's what it is. But it's not the root to the problem. It's just not.
Those hormonal changes wreak havoc on just about every mental faculty that you have as a woman. And it's really not nothing you can't stop it from happening. The best you can do as a woman is sort of try to mitigate that and understand what's happening to you and be more careful about decisions being made at
I understand what's happening to you, right? But she may not be fully understanding what's happening to you. It already was miserable before menopause and prostate issues. Okay. The prostate issues would be, of course, for the man, the menopause would be for the lady. So it's already miserable. So, in a way, in this situation, Kendra is not getting to the root of it. Okay. Because it's always blame shift on the woman, right? And this is the problem with being so pro man. I'm just fair, okay? I'm not pro man, I'm not pro lady, I'm about fairness. So when there's not a balance of fairness, then this is what happens. It's always this blame shifting on the lady. Oh, it ain't working because she in menopause. What about all the affairs he had on her? What about all the time she came home from work and he's in bed with her friends, right? Some women stay in marriages like this. They can come home and find their husband in bed with their best friend. They gonna stay in the marriage. But then when she gets in menopause and she wants out of this shit, because she's in menopause, so she can't take no more of it. It had nothing to do with the menopause. The stuff was been going on the entire marriage.
careful about decisions being made at this time, permanent decisions, because you won't be able to reverse a lot of it. And once,
And remember, this is part 2, y'all, to part 1. So for you to get the best benefit, and I'm gonna tell you how to watch these lives, y'all. I'm gonna give you a recommendation. I'm a live watcher, y'all. I'm on lives, okay? So the best benefit of a live is to be doing your chores. You get you a speaker, like a JP Flip speaker. You cut it up on high, and you be washing your dishes, doing your clothes, preparing your documents for the next day, on your laptop. Do everything you want to do while you're listening to a live. Do not allow lives to be taken from your life where you're not getting your stuff done. And you know what'll likely happen? You'll be able to listen to the whole live, but then tap in for the comments. So if you doing your dishes, when you finish doing these dishes, come on over here and leave a comment. Okay, so that's the best way to watch lives, because there's so many YouTubers doing lives. You want to be able to be getting your stuff done. So that's what I do. I'll be on other people's lives coming up with my own video ideas for my lives. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense.
because you won't be able to reverse a lot.
Lives are fun, y'all. It's so much fun.
And once menopause is over with, your sense come back. And then if you made terrible,
So she's gaslighting. She's making it seem like that when you go through menopause, you ain't got no sense. Not true. Very not true. Actually, going through menopause may be when you develop some sense. Because after you went through menopause, you want out of this deadly toxic marriage, right? Same way with the man. When his prostate is suddenly enlarged and his testosterone levels change, he wakes up, y'all. It's like a blessing in disguise.
decisions during that time, such as breaking up your home when your home did not need to be broken.
It does need to be broken because they're miserable and they don't want to live in that condition anymore.
Breaking your marriages when your marriage does not need to be broken. You will be in a world of trouble after that. After that point,
I wouldn't end my marriage over nothing petty. You know, that's just me. My marriage ended over serious things, but I'm not going to end my marriage over nothing petty. So I would agree with that. Be careful why you're ending the marriage. Make sure it's something that's actually causing misery and something that cannot be fixed.
Hormones calm down and you can kind of get your brain back. That's why a lot of those women regret it so much after, because it's like, well, literally, we're not in our right minds during menopause for a large chunk of that. We're literally not really all ticking too good. So a lot of careful. So I'm not gonna spend.
Relationships take a lot of time, y'all. You know, when you get into phases where you're considering marriage, there's a lot that you lose, even in the beginning of the dating relationship. Um, Considering a boyfriend, I mean, if I'm on the phone 2 or 3 hours, I'm not doing my lives. I'm not getting as many views on my channel. Um, Figure out a way where you can be involved in a marriage or something, and building a relationship where you're not neglecting what you already got going on. And what I find is that when I enter into those situations, there's some neglect going on of something that I got going on. And one of the things that could be neglected is me doing my lives. So have balance and be aware of what you want. Because if I'm not doing my lives and all this attention is going towards a potential mate that's not in the home yet, I'm suffering because I'm not fulfilling my projects and actually doing what I want to do. And it's very hard to be in marriages and actually be two complete people. Because what happens in marriages is, whether it be the man or the lady, one of them is not fulfilling their total purpose in life. Because there's much more purpose than just having kids and getting married. Yes, people that are pro marriage may teach that that's all you supposed to be doing, but it's not true. And the paternity court judge, she teaches that best, y'all, that there's much more to life. She said this several times, and actually I was against it when she first said it, but I'm getting to understand it more. She teaches people it's much more to life than popping out babies. And I would agree with that. Even though at first I did not fully understand it or agree with it, of course I didn't agree with it. I popped out babies, right? So maybe I didn't want to self-reflect, but it is true. It's more to life. I ain't got to be babysitting a bunch of kids and dogs and stuff. I could be doing this live. It is so much to do with your life than just occupying yourself with taking care of people. Your life, you're not just a caregiver. If you're just caregiving, I'm learning this from studying more of the Stoic lessons. Y'all, the Stoic lessons are making me very strong and bringing me out of that caregiving stuff, because Stoic lessons don't play, y'all. Google Stoic lessons and see what you learn. It ain't teaching you got to do shit. Oh my God. You talk about the freedom in Stoic lessons, and it makes you feel okay with not doing shit. Oh, wow, I don't have to take care of my elderly cousin that keep cussing me out. Yeah. Stoic lesson says you can do that. Oh, damn. My own children with no contact with me for 15, 20 motherfucking years. Oh, I don't have to take they toxic ass back in my life. Oh my God, I don't have to bring this estranged daughter or son that's been in no contact back in my motherfucking life to destroy the rest of my life. Oh, damn. I don't have to leave them my damn money when I die. Shit. Stoic lessons, study Stoic lesson philosophy. It will make you not so fearful in not taking on responsibility. Oh shit, I don't have to move all these motherfuckers in my house. Wow. And Stoic lessons explain from a logical standpoint, not an emotional standpoint, on why these things may not be good for you. Okay? So I will create a playlist on my channel about Stoic philosophy. If I don't already have one, I will create that. And that way you can go in and learn the Stoic lessons, okay? Remember, please like, share, and subscribe.
Careful. So I'm not going to spend too much time with that. Women, be careful of every decision and all of your emotional reactions during this time. It's gonna be heavy, but it's not as serious as the hormones is making it seem.
And men need to do the same thing, because as they age, their hormones change as well, y'all. It's not just the woman. As men and women age, both have changes within the body. Okay, not just the woman.
Just my 2 cents for the ladies.
But Sister Kendra.
And Philip should be teaching what the changes are in men. He's a middle-aged man or older. He should be teaching that, but he's not going to point out the changes in the man.
I think more of that needs, since you understand it, I think more need to be discussed on that, because I was discussing this with a few people. Nobody's discussing that part. Nobody.
Y'all, sometimes I'm not going to lie. Philip Scott, he does the abuser face, right? There's this certain face and facial gestures that abusers will make. I call it the abuser face. It's the little subtle facial mannerisms that come into their faces. Even if they are not an abuser, there's somebody that got serious anger issues, or they start shit. There's certain facial expressions that come out of them that I've always picked up on about Philip. He's an advocate for not beating up on women, but that doesn't mean he does not have emotional abuse traits. And I've always seen those facial expressions come out in him sometimes. And sometimes that is me being a prior domestic violence victim. That makes me sometimes not want to watch him. So it's certain things in potential abusers' faces, especially when they're males, that I can intuitively pick up on and I'm aware of. And sometimes these facial expressions are not prevalent to people before they get with abusers. Okay. So I just want to point that out, because he kind of did the face again, and I'm not really down with that, right? Because I could kind of see. Remember, he's not a happy man. He, in so many words, thinks happiness is an up and down thing. And many people with weight issues, y'all, will feel that way, because their weight is not coming down, or their weight is up and down. I mean, weight and misery, out of control weight and being not completely happy, they go hand in hand. It's best to get your weight down to the best of your ability. You're just going to be happier with your weight being more under control, y'all. You just are.
Part. Nobody's discussing menopause. Nobody's discussing perimenopause. How men even going to deal with that? And the change that happened with their woman, and they wondering what's going on with her, why she this way. Hey, she was, swinging off the chandelier. Now she don't want to do nothing no more. What's going on with her? Like, is it me? Is it her? Like, what's the problem? There's a whole lot to go in there.
And the fact that she was swinging off the chandelier, Philip Scott is saying she basically wanted to fuck more because she's swinging off the chandelier. But now, since she's in menopause, she's not doing that no more. It has nothing to do with her menopause. It has a lot to do with the affairs that she's caught him having, and the way he's treated her. Menopause is not a real reason that you stop swinging off the chandelier and giving out pussy. It's the way you're treated. The way you're treated will overcome and make you interested. Falling out of love. The woman has fell out of love. Her menopause ain't got nothing to do with her falling out of love with the man. It's the way she's been treated. A situation she's outgrown. I'm not going to blame shift this shit on menopause.
There's a whole lot to go in there that's not being discussed.
No.
I don't think people discuss is leaving and they not happy, whatever. Some of that stuff is because you're going through menopause. It's not even really that man did nothing. And like you said, they come to their senses and like, oh my God, I let
blame shifting, y'all. Don't buy it. Don't buy it.
man go, and then they trying to spin the block and see if they can get their husband back. And then it's
Yeah.
too late, because once you let a good man go, there's so many women out there ready to snatch him up. Do not think no woman want your husband. Don't ever, if he's a decent man, don't ever think that. They are there waiting for you to fumble the bag. Trust me.
It's made 24-hour moisturizing body wash that locks in.
For you to fumble the bag. Trust me.
Mhm. They definitely are, and you're right. I don't think it's discussed. I don't think that menopause is discussed in the right way. I think it's talked about a lot.
I just discussed it in the right way, y'all. It ain't got a damn thing to do with the divorce. That woman was tired of that shit before she went through menopause. I promise you this. Okay? Especially if it's only menopause and there's no combination of other things. There's no hysterectomy coinciding with the menopause. There's no other illnesses that have taken over her, like cancers and stuff like that. So just only menopause ain't the real reason that she's acting out in the marriage. It's just not. Don't buy it. If you a man, don't buy that shit.
Discussed in the right way. I think it's talked about a lot, but not from the perspective of it's likely a main catalyst for women my age and older of making decisions and seeing things in their marriage a certain way. It colored a certain.
It's not a main catalyst, y'all. It's a buildup that's been going on through the entire marriage. It just so happened when the buildup time came, she's going through menopause. It's not the reason. Don't buy it, okay? It's an excuse. It's blame shifting. Whether I'm in menopause or not, I'ma still be swinging from the chandelier, as Philip Scott would say, in menopause or not. The only thing that's gonna stop me from swinging from the chandelier and wanting to have sex is his treatment of me, okay? And in some cases, there may be medical issues, going on. So, but that's different than just straight up menopause. Straight up menopause ain't stopping a woman from giving pussy away. To be quite frank, if a woman is not in her spirituality and she's in menopause, she might give more pussy away. Okay? I promise you this. You know why? Because she's least likely to get pregnant. Okay? So she may give more pussy away in menopause than she did when she was a teenager or a young lady. I promise you this. Don't buy this bullshit. It's blame shifting. They're trying to make it seem like women's rational decisions are crazy. So they want men to think that because she got in menopause and she got in her 40s, 50s, late 30s, and she decided to leave, they want you to believe it's her menopause that did it. Okay, it's blame shifting at best, and it's definitely not accurate.
Certain way. It colored a certain way. I think a lot of conversation that surrounds women's menopause is either dismissive or y'all will be out.
Women are always considered crazy when they leave men. Remember, that's the old school thinking and philosophy. This is part of the reason why a lot of ladies do not enter marriages, because they're tired of being gaslit, that when they make a decision, a rational decision to leave situations, they're considered crazy, going through menopause. They're not in their right frame of mind. She's a hoe. There's always this excuse on why she got out of this toxic marriage.
That surrounds women's menopause is either dismissive or y'all will be all right.
And look how long they've been talking about it, y'all. This is supposed to be talking about the American Black family with Philip Scott, right? And look how long they've been on the subject. Don't you see the game in this, y'all?
All women go through this. that may be so, but that doesn't make it any less.
They didn't turn my live into a menopause defense live because they didn't talked about this shit so long. But look how long they go into it, right? Because they want you to believe that this is the real reason for the divorce. Not all the years him or her cheated. In this case, him, because the woman only can go through menopause. They don't want to teach you that it's all the years he's cheated. It's all the years he's beat up on his woman and his wife. It's all the years he's gambled his money away and did drugs. All the years he didn't pray with his family. They don't want you to realize that's the true reason. They want to blame it on a woman that doesn't have her period anymore.
Of a big deal.
And that's game, y'all. That's game to even attempt to make you believe that.
Women to actually go through, and then you've got a lot of women who don't actually,
and they might believe it. So if they believe this shit, you know what they are? Unaware narcissists. Because if they believe this bullshit, they are unaware narcissists. They don't even know they narcissists if they actually believe this shit.
Understand menopause even as they go through it. They don't know what's happening to them. They don't know to attribute it to menopause. A whole bunch of stuff.
Give me a fucking break. How long they gonna talk about this shit, y'all? Don't you see this game? Still talking about motherfucking menopause. Give me a break.
Sex drive peak and then the dip. So, you know, and it causes.
There's no sex drive peak, y'all. Menopause, women more hornier than some 18-year-olds, okay?
If there's no understanding and no serious communication between the husband and the wife, the husband will be frustrated. And the wife will be frustrated because she doesn't know how to control any of it. She doesn't know. All she can tell her husband is, I'm not the same. Like, I don't feel the same. I don't even feel normal.
She ain't the same because he's cheated on her so damn long, y'all. That's why she's not the same.
I don't know what to do. I can't. Yeah, I know. We was all good a week ago with the sex, right? And now I don't really want you to touch me.
She's not good with the sex and she don't want him to touch her because he's touched so many fucking women, y'all. And she did not sign up to be in a polygamous relationship. So after the man I'm married to had fucked so many people inside of our marriage, my menopause ain't the reason I'm not having sex. It's because he's touched so many fucking women and I'm sick of it. So it's almost disgusting that he touches her. That's what it is, because remember, this is a woman that did not sign up to be in a polygamous relationship.
I don't really want you to touch me. I'm not attracted. But
this is gaslighting at its best.
I don't feel anything. I don't feel anything at all sexually until it's over with. People don't talk about it from the standpoint that it is a phase. It's not permanent. Goes on for probably a few years, and then it's over with. Once that machine stops, because, and I'm gonna say this last part, and then I'm gonna go to a commercial break and come back. What people don't understand about menopause is that it's the stopping of a machine, a complex machine, which is our reproductive system that is designed to carry children. And that the stopping of that machine, gear by gear, gearing it down, is big. And I think even women dismiss the significance of it and don't address it properly. Not even just medically, properly at all. They don't address it properly at all. And then marriages are ruined off the backs of those decisions. But I'm not going to make this a menopause show. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to...
Yes, she has made it a menopause show, y'all. She's made it a menopause show, and she's made my life damn near a menopause show, because I got to teach y'all the truth that it's not just the damn menopause, okay? So she done made both of our lives a menopause show. But she caught herself. Kendra is a businesswoman, and she caught herself. Just like before she said it, I caught her making her show a menopause show. Okay, so good job, Kendra. Let's get back on subject because, like I said, she done made her live and my live a menopause show.
To a quick commercial break. I'm gonna read these super chats and then we're gonna jump back into the real conversation, Brother Phil. So after these messages, we'll be right back. So I need everybody to go to ashkicking.com.
Okay.
The link is pinned to the top of the chat. If you're looking to keep your skin looking and feeling its absolute best, you need the body butter that is on your.
Oh, she has beautiful skin. So anything relating to the skin, I would trust it. She takes very good care of her skin, and she takes good care of her soul, y'all. I watch Kendra Davis more than I watch Philip Scott. So Kendra Davis, she funny too, y'all. I like her. Just make sure if you watch her, you don't stop watching me. Okay, that's all I'm asking.
Screen right now. And if this is going to be your first order, please take advantage of the 10% discount using the promo code Crimson at checkout. Once again, the link ashkicking.com is pinned to the top of the chat. Let me get to the super chats real quick. Thank you, Common Man. I think the Black family is going through another change in time, y'all. We have to weather this storm. Okay, thank you. Tommy Randall said, passing the plate, keep it going with the truth. Thank you, HVAC said, finally, been waiting for years, been watching Phil since the 8th grade, 2011 and 12 collab of the year here, guys. Yeah, been watching Phil for a long
time. I love her smile and I respect her views. I just want to say that. Her views may be a little bit more different than mine, but I do respect her perspective and I love her smile, her beauty, and I respect her lifestyle. This is a Muslim sister that's not in the streets. She's on her channel. Her channel has grown way more than mine, so I commend her for what she's doing. And I commend myself for my small channel. I'm in no competition, and I thank the Lord and thank Allah that she did her live so that I can do commentary on it, okay? Her live helps my live.
Long time. I'm not even going to play. Thank you, David. Say, yep, happened to me. My ex-wife said I had 3 kids and cheated on her. Left me and the judge ruled in her favor. Never asked for any proof. That's crazy work. Thank you, Enchanted, who have been a member for 3 months. I'm getting married to an amazing patriarchal man next month. Thanks to all the wisdom you've bestowed upon me. Thank you. I'm forever grateful. Want to come to the wedding. Congratulations, Miss Enchanted, to you and your fiance. You know, my prayers to the longevity of your marriage and the marriage.
And I like that she's blessing someone's marriage and wishing well on it. I wish well on it too. I'm pro happiness. I'm only pro marriage if it's happy and if it's a content, peaceful situation that 2 people enjoy and want to be in.
Thank you, comments. I have no idea what you're talking about, Kendra. That's girl stuff, but I'm listening. And I understand that. But some guys, especially men who are married and dealing with women that's getting up in age, you're going to have to hear the girl stuff. Because otherwise, you're just going to be mad. You're just going to be mad. You're going to be frustrated. You don't know why she acting like that. You don't know why she quiet. And then the next minute, she got an attitude from nowhere. And then the next minute, it's minute to minute. And it's crazy work. But again, not going to make it a menopause show. Thank you, RBN. So, Mr. Scott, you had me on about a year ago. Good to see you with Crimson Salute. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, RBN. Okay, Brother Phil. So I want to continue the conversation, and I'm
glad she called him Brother Philip Scott, instead of calling him Mr. Okay, I like the Brother Phil better.
Go this way with it. So we talked about the laws. We touched on a little bit of the finances. Now I want to touch on the internet question and of what do you bring to the table? How, in your opinion, have we even understood?
This part is kind of when they talk about what do you bring to the table. In my opinion, that's destroyed a lot of natural relationships because you just bring yourselves to the table, right? Just bring yourself. Ain't that what you used to bring to the table? I mean, and marriage actually lasted from the beginning to the end. They actually lasted to death do you part because you just brought yourself to the table. You brought your pussy and dick to the table and you now married. And a lot of times that's what it begins as, and then it grows into more. Two people decide they want to be married, they bring their pussy and dick to the table, and then they add some money to it and some prayer to it. But this all, what do you bring to the table? Do you think I will ever get remarried if I actually viewed my future husband like that? He might not have a house right now. He might not have the job he's supposed to have. I could find a man that has all that stuff, but who God wants me with may not have all of that stuff the same month we get together. He may have it 6 months down the line. So you just bring yourself to the table. So all of this, what do you bring to the table? It allows room for a lot of gold digging, lack of spirituality, and people don't get fucked the way they need to be fucked. Because just bring the dick over here. That's what you bring first. And then if he's not on drugs, he's not addicted. The other stuff, if he agrees to the marriage and wants to be married, the other stuff will just come natural. Okay? Bring yourself to the table. That's the first thing you need to bring. Don't be hasty. Don't rush. Set a date. I would say the worst thing people can do is they're hasty. I want to see you right now. That ruins a lot of beautiful blessings. Just think about it, calm down, prepare, look the prettiest you can be, look the most handsome you can be organized, get your current projects you're working on, complete those, let the person know, hey, this is a good time for me, especially for out-of-state relationships and in-state relationships. Figure out you want to be together. I truly believe you can do that before you have sex. The problem is people have sex first, then they decide they don't want it. Decide you want it, then have sex. Like the old-fashioned way. Sex came after marriage. Start doing it the way it should be. And you can do it the right way at any age, y'all. You don't have to be a virgin to do it the right way. He don't have to be someone that's never had sex to do it the right way. Just bring yourself to the table. All of this, what you bring into the table, it destroys getting fucked the way you should get fucked.
Have we even understood the reality of asking a question like that to one another? The men to the women to the men. Do you think that we even understand enough about each other as men and women to properly assess each other's value for marriage?
I'm gonna say a lot of times people don't even have a proper example. At least I got a decent example of my grandparents who were married until they died.
Yeah, he had his grandparents, but he still hasn't found complete happiness, and they may not have either.
My parents didn't stay married till they, my parents did get divorced. My father remarried. My father's still married now, right? My mom, she did remarry a couple times. She's single now. But I will say this, that question.
So his mother's marriages, one or more marriage did not work. So he wants to make sure he points that out, that his mother failed, right? Or the marriage failed. He may not be directly saying his mother failed, but he just got to let you know that, right?
For me, in my personal life, anytime I've ever dated a woman or whatever, I've never asked a woman that. What does she bring to the table? I'm a doggone man. I was raised old school, and I was taught by black men.
Yeah, I like that. I like that about Philip Scott. He's never going to ask a woman, what is she bringing to the table? Because he's going to fuck her right? Overweight and all, he's saying he's going to give her the dick. So I like this man more and more, right? Philip Scott, this is a real man in that way. He's saying that he don't ask women that. And I don't think women should be asking men that, right? If you want them, you want them. If you don't, you don't. Just make sure he's not violent and crazy. and off in the freaking head. Okay, that's all you need to do. But I think the same way. Just he brings himself to the table, the right man. Everything else is gonna come with it, right? He'll let you know what he's gonna bring to the table. You don't really have to ask a man what is he gonna bring to the table. He's already aware of the areas he's lacking in, and he'll tell you how he plans to fix it. That's what a normal man would do. Okay, so you don't really need to ask him that. Just make sure he has a dick, y'all. That's the thing, and then he'll give you the rest of it. Okay.
Talk about black men. You don't depend on a woman for nothing, not even for a morsel of food, as a man, because that's just we are supposed to be protectors and providers. So, what a woman what I'm looking for as a man is she a good person? Is she nurturing? Is she kind? Is she feminine? Right? Is she very feminine? Is she going?
And you should be looking for the same trait in a man. The same traits he's looking for in a woman or a lady, making sure she's kind and nurturing. A man should be kind and nurturing as well, and filled with spirituality and prayers.
Have my back. If she got a good character, I don't need her to do nothing. Now, of course, in the scriptural reference, she's supposed to be a help meet. I understand in this economy, two people may have to work and help each other to get to a certain point, and that's okay. But I believe that we should be in a partnership. It's not about what you bring to the table. No, what we bring to it as a couple, and how we're going to take over the world. It's like some of the questions people are asking.
Okay, y'all, my family come first, so I got to check and make sure that my relative is safe and sound, okay? So hold on 1 second. Hello?
Hello?
What's going on?
I'm waiting for the bus.
Oh, okay. Which bus are you catching?
The 907 bus.
Okay. If you need an Uber or anything, let me know, son.
Okay.
Okay, I love you.
Love you too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, sorry about that, y'all. I gotta check on my family now.
It's like some of the questions people are asking to me is stupid. That's a stupid question. All right, what do you bring to the table? What do you want her to bring to the table, bro? Like, I'm trying to figure out, because women don't supposed to take care of men financially. That's more now. Women would ask that question another way. They're like, well, what you do for a living? Like, what do you work? They want to figure out if you can find.
I don't ask men stuff like that. I just let them tell me, because I'm not with him for what he do for a living. So a man will tell you what he does for a living. I'm not a gold digger. I'm also not a millionaire. So, I mean, I don't ask men questions like that, because if I was a man and a woman was asking me questions like that too soon, just let me tell you. I don't even want a man asking me what I do for a living. Just let me tell you. Some of these questions you shouldn't be asking. Just let the person tell you on their own. Okay?
Like, what do you work? They want to figure out if you can financially handle bills, right? They may ask questions about, you ever been in trouble with the law and things like that. They trying to figure out if you're a criminal or not, right? They want to make
And you don't need to ask him that neither. Just run his name, have a background check app, run his name, be more familiar with them in the community. Dang on it, this is overheating again. So I'm gonna do a part 3, y'all, because this is overheating. Please like, share, and subscribe. And so tune in for more within an hour or so of part